Hello stampers, this is super awesome stamper Shirley Marker. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Wisconsin, USA. Thank you for being here for my Kits in the Mail offering, the 3+1 for October, November, and December 2023. This is the assembly video for December 2023. It's the faux camera technique. So let's get started. Your envelope should have December 2023 faux camera on the back, if I can get that written right. And then open up your envelope, see what you have inside. You will have 2 pieces of pre-printed Woodland Friends pattern paper. It will be assorted because it's a 12x12 sheet that I had to cut up and include. So I made sure to include a reindeer and a moose. I could not do all just reindeer like my original sample because I think it only had 4 reindeer per sheet. All right, so I'm going to set that aside and I'm going to bring in my own kit because I got some stuff that's already cut apart, fussy cut apart. You will have 2 kits in your envelope, so open up one. They should have the same supplies in each. While you open up your envelopes, I'm going to tell you that I used the Sparkling Snowflakes, Let It Snow this time, so I used all 3 greetings for the October, November, and December cards. And then I'm going to use some of the snowflakes on my card today as well. I'm going to pull in the Night of Navy ink pad, and then my assorted tools are ready to go. And then here is my kit ready for me. Again, I fussy cut already some of these shapes. Now, this seal does not have a festive hat on, so I don't think I can add it to my card. This one's got a festive hat. So I might put it in the scrap pile and use it for that side instead on a different card. I have to think about that. But the rest of them I have fussy cut. In your kit will be this shape that you can do a sentiment on. It's a retired punch. I can't remember what the name of it is. But I'm going to swap that out for a piece of scrap. And I'm going to do that right now before I get too far into my card. So I'm going to bring in my paper piercing mat. And the Night of Navy ink pad. I'm going to stamp Let It Snow. And then I didn't do anything on the inside of my sample card. I'm not sure why. Well, I had all those, but we're going to do some snowflakes. And I am going to grab just a Designer Series paper backer sheet, just to protect my mat. I'm going to do some snowflakes all around. There are 3 different sizes of snowflakes in this stamp set. Maybe we're just going to do a blizzard all around. Why not? There, I don't know if you like that or not, but I don't have to write as much inside the card then. Okay, so there's that instead of that. You know what? And as long as I've got a mess going here, let's fix this inside. Let's put this right up against. And why don't you're going to hear a rip. I'm going to rip this and make this flat so I don't get the blue on the old olive base. There. That's better. All right, and since I'm using Designer Series paper backer sheets, I don't care. I have a stack of those, so I can rip those up and use them how I want. All right, I'm gonna close my ink pad, and let's see here. Let's get this here. Oh, and I see I don't have a base, old olive base in my kit. Hang on. Old olive base. I'm folding that down. Going to put this on the inside. one less piece for me to deal with. Everything else goes on the outside. Okay. Now I don't need the base for quite a while, so we're going to set that out of the camera frame. I'm going to pull everything else back in. Those are going to go there. That's going to go there. While you are still getting your workplace in order, workspace in order, we are going to fussy cut my sentiment. So that's ready to go. Okay. Now the rest of the pieces in your kit would be a piece of backer sheet. So that measured 4 by 5 1/4. So it fits the card front. We're going to fully cover that. You've got 2 pieces of the Snowflake Magic specialty paper. It's got the silver specialty. And of course, I'm going to do a swap out, and I'm going to try to use my thinner strip. So we'll see how that goes. So I'm going to swap those out, what's included in your kit, with my thinner strip. And then you would have gotten 2 pieces of this pattern paper from the Merry Christmas snowflake pattern, a square of the that's silver and white, and a square of the old olive that gets layered. You should have 4 pieces of these strips. They're 1/4 inch strips. And if I don't have 4, I will go find my 4th one. But stuff usually turns up as I start assembling. All right, so your first step is to take this piece, the white on one side and the white and silver on the other, and attach it to your 4 by 5 1/4 piece of backer sheet. Now your backer sheet, if you're making more cards after your kits are used up, can be anything. So I like the backer sheets because it provides a nice stable base. Okay, there's that. So you can see that's the center mark. We can put this over that, but we're going to set that aside for a minute and work on the other pieces. All right, my next layers are going to be these blue pieces. You can kind of see it going together. And then this, the silver is going to be here and here. Okay. I'm stopping the video and showing the 2 finished cards. The top one is the sample and the bottom one is the one that I assembled with you in the video with the moose. So you'll notice that the corners look a little different. If you like the corner look on the moose card, assemble according to how I do it in the video with attaching the blue snowflake pattern first. If you like how the corners look on the reindeer card, attach the white pieces first and the blue pieces second. As you lay your pieces out in the next few seconds, you'll see the difference of either attaching the blue first, which is what I do in the video, or attaching the white and silver first, which is on the sample card. Okay. So I do not recommend putting adhesive on your designer series paper or your specialty paper on the corners because you're going to get it everywhere. So if you like Tombow glue, grab that. If you like the tape runner, grab that. So let's get started with some tape here. You want to make sure you get in the corners. That's where the Tombow glue is helpful. I'm just going to do opposite corners here. And you want to make sure you fully cover that white backer piece. And I can be economical. I'm making sure the tip, the right-hand top corner of the designer street paper covers the white backer sheet. Same thing with this one. Cover that tip and I'm butting it up right next to that square. Okay, now I would recommend a long bladed scissors, but right now I just have my paper snips in front of me. So flip it over and cut the back off. Those little paw prints are cute too. They would have been cute up. You've got 2 kits though. You could do one with paw prints up and one with the snowflake up. Okay, set these aside. We're done with those. Now you were going to grab your pieces and fully cover your corners. Okay, so your pieces are wide enough that they will fully cover that backer sheet. All right, now I'm going to be economical. Set those aside. I'm going to use this strip. So what happened was these are 4 inch by 2.5 inches. I have a lot of these strips left, so I'm going to try to use these strips on my sample card. And this is how you can be economical with your pattern paper as well. You just need to cover it, make sure your tips are covered. The tips of that backer sheet. And so, what am I doing? I put some adhesive down. I'm going to butt it up against the center square, but then I'm going to pull off and make sure my corner is covered, and it is just barely. And I could have been a little more economical with that. Can you see that? Stampin' Friends. I got so excited there. I just need to cover up to the edge. And you will have a lot of these squares left, so this is a good technique. If you have somewhat larger pieces of pattern paper left, from cutting off, you know, larger pieces maybe for card fronts. Okay. And then this piece, can that go there at all? Oh, it can, look at that. Can go here, and just like that, just barely covered it. So you could get by with slightly more narrow widths. I'll check this width. Yeah, the width I'm using is 2 inches, but the width I give you was 2.5 inches, because I wanted to make sure you had an easier time of cutting your squares until you understood how this card went together. All right, now this is going to boing up. That might drive me a little crazy, that corner, because that's the one I pulled off. So let's put some Tombow there. Oh, and of course it's squeezed out, squished out. Okay, I do need my Tombow though. Pull that over. All right, next, before I get any further, let's get our center done. So this is a faux camera. So it's supposed to be things popping out. And if you look at the companion PDF that I emailed to you, all of the samples, or most of them, will have something sticking out. Some of them are very clever. There was a gingerbread sticking out on one that I really liked. Okay, so you got to make that little sticking out and or thing that makes it pop up. So you just put a hole, and you could snip, and that'll get your rips started. It doesn't matter how your rips go. The original one, the very first one on the PDF, is a hedgehog bursting out. So for some reason, animals bursting out just are popular. Okay, so that would go over there, and my moose is going to go over that. So I've got things that are kind of too big. Could have a fox. No, that's not a fox. Is that a fox? That is a... It's not a fox. That is more like a timber wolf. That could come out of there too. I'll have to think about that. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's get back to my green strips. Now you should have 4 green strips in your kit. And I happen to only pick up, there's the fourth one is around here somewhere. I will find it. All right, we got our fourth strip. Okay, now what you want to do is kind of cover up all these seams. Now, if you look at mine, I started with seams that go this way, you know, started with the blue. And I see I did mine a little different. Can you see what's different? Depends on how you lay your strips down. The DSP down. I can see the one on the right when I'm assembling now. I have more of this white and the silver showing, less of the blue. This one I have more of the blue and less of the white. Either one is fine. Okay, so let me get my combo out. And I am going to start putting these down. Okay, just a tiny bit, you know, because the liquid glue tends to glob out. There, I'm just touching the old olive up to the white and the gray. Same on this side, I'll do the same thing. I only need glue. I don't need glue where my finger is. And I'm butting it up to the white square. And that is so that we've got a little bit of white peeking out between the old olive square and the strip. Okay, now this one can go this way. And I'm doing my strips different as well. Isn't that interesting? So you could just butt it up onto one side. Don't have to go all the way over like I did. You could end it right there. I'm doing something a little different. I wanted to show you options. There's no right or wrong. I would lay it out before you start assembling though. You'll find a pattern that pleases you. There. Okay, now flip it over and cut the edges off. I see I've got some glue there. Let me grab a little bit waste cardstock and kind of get that off of there so I don't get so much on my scissors. I'm going to pull in my very old craft on rubber scissors because I know there's glue there. I don't want glue on my good paper snips. There. So a couple of different looks depending on how you lay your pattern paper and how you lay your cardstock strips. Now there's all different patterns in the PDF. I think different people used either black for strips or color coordinating like I did. Which way do I want this to go? Doesn't matter. Okay, now this is gonna go over that. Now, to decide which animal you want bursting out. Maybe you want just the fox. Or I could have the, I want to say that's a fox. That is not a fox. I still like the moose because it fills more of the space. All right, now I got to get the moose. So right now I'm using the pop out as actually like a dimensional. I'm just going to put some liquid glue on that. I think my creatures are too small to pop out. I'm not sure why I feel that way, but I think because the snowflake and the white and silver is so bold, it needs a larger image to kind of counteract that boldness. Okay, I got my Let It Snow here. Going to have to use my tape runner because I am out of dimensionals. They haven't shown up today as well. Let's see what other things I have here in your kit. Extra animals. We have got some ribbon. This is the red and burlap combo. So we've got more here than what you need. And some baker's twine. I just wanted a little bit of a faux bow. You need a little something. I like the tan because that'll balance the tan and the reindeer and the moose. And I give you more ribbon than what you'll use in your card generally, so you've got an easier time to tie your bows and tie off. I'm gonna grab my glue dots. So I just do a single, when I do the baker's twine tails, I just do a single knot, and then I use a glue dot to secure the back. So that it won't come undone. While it's on the backer sheet, let's cut this. And let's cut this side because I don't want it to be a messy bow. Okay, so that piece of ribbon and burlap or baker's twine is, that extra is extra. I'm gonna close my cap there, get this out of the way. And then these adhesive back sequins trio. So there are 2 sizes in the package. So one kit will have the smaller size and your other kit will have the larger size. So just look for that. And you know what? I'm going to do a swap out here. I've got what I used before, so we're going to use one off of that. And I used the small. I used a small pink one, and I think I used pink over here because it picked up the pinkish tones in the scarf. This one doesn't have any pink. So I think I might have to set that back on my top of my workstation. I'm going to use white. These are the larger ones. A white one there. I don't like the green because there's no green. There's no pink on this one. So I did 5, 3 on that side and 2 on the other, but these are the larger sequins. So, and I only have 4 left. So we're just going to do 3 on the top. Okay, and that fills the space in. Similarly, those are the smaller ones and these are the large ones. And then, so here's the inside of this card. Let's pull in my card that we decorated in the beginning. This fits over the card front there. All right, so I hope I explained how to attach your pieces on the front. You'll get a different look depending on what you cover up, which angles you cover up, and which ones you put down first. But they all look, I think they all look stunning. I just like it. Okay, and then inside, got these extra animals. And I put we're just going to put them on the inside. I'm all for using up and sharing my supplies. If I don't have to put it in my scrap pile, I won't. So start with this one right here because that's the longest one. And the tree over her tail, and put the gift one right there. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed making your kits for October, November, and December 2023. You've got a second kit with the same amount of supplies in that kit, so go ahead and open that up and see. Do assemble them 2 different ways, or you probably disassemble them different ways and not even realize you're doing it, but you'll find a pleasing pattern for yourself. It's a great technique to use up smaller pieces of pattern paper. So what I have left are these kind of pieces right here. Of course, I have a little bit more. I would have the similar size pattern if I cut it off. So these pieces you could actually use on another card. So that's how, if you be a little more economical, you could use these on another card like that. All right, so you can use a lot of your squares up. You can also tuck these along on the inside as well to use them up so they don't go in your scrap bin. I hope you enjoyed creating your 3+1 kits in the mail with me for December, November, and October of 2023. Make sure you watch your email for the +1 offer in January of 2024. I'll be sending you a thank you card as well in January. This was my first time I offered the 3+1 deal. I hope it worked for you. It worked for me. I'll be looking at offering one in early January of 2024. So be watching my blog for all of those details. Celebration happens in January and February of 2024. So go to my blog for the full details when that promotion posts. Hope you have a great holiday season, and we'll stamp with you soon. Bye.